What's up? All right, we back. It's another Monday, first and third. So we get to kick off the month with my plate, my choice. And today I'm gonna do the format a little differently than how we normally set up my plate, my choice. Um, Normally I come in. Well, I won't. I'll explain it again because I'm giving everybody a chance to get in and get acclimated because it's Monday, and of course we know Mondays are always what slow motion. It takes us a second to kind of get in and get situated and make a decision on everything on Monday, right? So, but of course, I always appreciate everybody that tunes in and everybody that rocks in with us on Mondays. I'm always very, very, very thankful that you guys take the 30 minutes to 45 minutes out of your day to kind of rock in and get with the topic and the subject matter that we're dealing with on that particular day. So, of course, like I said, it's my plate, my choice. I hope that you guys have gotten so much out of this. I hope you guys have gotten a lot out of what information we've put out on the platform over the last couple months, and I hope you guys have really been able to implement the things that we've talked about and really kind of build on those things and kind of start putting them into practice. Of course, I know it's never an easy decision. It's not. It's not an easy choice. Not have to at that place of being able to make those decisions, those tough decisions, in the midst of friends, in the midst of events, in the midst of all types of things that may pop up. You still kind of have to make a decision to stay on track and do the things that you agreed to do for yourself, things that you decided to do for yourself. So, I hope you guys just continue to grow and learn and really kind of digest the things that we talk about on this platform, right? So today, though, I need you guys to be really, and you always are active in the chats, but I'm going to key in on the chats today specifically because what I want to talk about today, we talk, right, every Monday. And a lot of times it's me here and I have like examples for you guys and different things, different ways to kind of reach you and make the information as simplistic as I can and as easy for you to receive and kind of start putting it into practice, right? Every Monday. So I realized though, it's been 3 months, right? We kind of started this in January and then we did February and then we did March, right? Boom. So we're 3 months in on this. So here's what I want to do. I see somebody in the chat says, anyone else's screen black or is it just mine? Can you guys see me? Really quick, I want to make sure that everybody can see me and everybody's good before we kind of dive into it because I just see that comment in the chat. Can you guys see me today and hear me just fine? Yes? No? Maybe so? GM3, I can hear you, but I can't see you. All right, let's bring it back. Can you guys see me now? A lot of people say, no, we can't see you. We can't see you. Still can't see me now? No, not on YouTube. No. All right, brought the camera back. Let's see. What about now? No, still a no. No, you guys abundantly no, still no's. All right. All right. Well, I'll figure this out while I talk. So here's what I want to do today, though. I want to talk about you guys. I want to give you all the opportunity to ask me because we've covered a lot of subject matter over the last 3 months. So I want to give you all the ability to ask whatever questions you may have that we have dealt with so far from any other topics that we've dealt with so far. Choice, specifically just my plate, my choice. Anything that we have covered, anything that you guys may have questions about. I know we talked about sugars and understanding how sugar works in our body. Last week we talked about calories and the calorie intake and kind of how that's different from eating out versus like meal prepping your own food. And I want to give you guys a chance to, and I'm still working on the video while I'm talking to you guys, but I want to give you guys a chance to talk through or ask any questions on that as to why there has been any questions that you may have on your side about anything that we talked about on My Plate, My Choice. And I'm on the chat, so for anything that you guys may have, any questions that you may ask, I'm here for it. Let's go. That's what the forum is today. I'm opening the floor up to each of you all to let me know what questions we have, any questions that we have, any things that you have been struggling with as it comes to dealing with the subject that we've talked about, putting them into practice, like any of those things. Any questions across the board? Reply target. Mine is. All right, so let's go. All right, so you guys should be able to see me now, correct? Make sure. You guys can see me now, right? Let's make sure we're good. Everybody across the board? Yes? Yes, yes, yes. Do you put Jordan's food separately, or she pretty much eats what I eat? Okay, all right, bet. So here's the first question. All right, so when I'm meal prepping, right, do I meal prep for myself and then do something separately for Jordan, or do we all do the same thing? So listen, it's kind of tricky when you're meal prepping and you understand that you have children. You kind of have to find balance in that, right? So anytime I do meal prep, Jordan may eat some stuff that I cook, but for the most part, Jordan likes to eat out. Like that's kind of her thing. Jordan, that's just Jordan's thing. And I understand that Jordan is a child, so I don't press her too hard on not eating out. There's certain restaurants I absolutely do not allow her to eat at or partake in, but for the most part, I kind of let her enjoy her childhood. I teach her, we talk about her relationship with food and snacks and good snacks and bad snacks and things of that nature. But no, most times when I meal prep, my meal preps are just for me. And I don't try to force feed that to her. I kind of allow her to kind of grow up in that space and enjoy just being 12 years old and eating like that. So yeah, excellent question though. Excellent question. Other questions you guys got about anything that we have covered under My Plate, My Choice, tough topics that we have had to, you may have questions about, whatever. Today's forum is all about you being able to ask and get it answered. A lot of people that are close to me, they ask me questions all the time, but I realize everybody's not in arm's reach of me and they don't always get an opportunity to just say, hey, I had a couple questions about the topic or the subject that you spoke on, a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Can you elaborate on that a little bit for me? So I decided today to make this be a Q&A, and I probably will do this every couple of months just to kind of give people the space to ask questions. Don't hesitate. Don't feel like it's a dumb question, because I promise you, it's probably 5 or 10 people in the chat with the same type of question. So any questions that you guys got, I am here for it. Otherwise, I can get into something that I had that I wanted to cover today. But of course, like I said, I wanted to give the opportunity for people to be able to ask any questions that they have, or let's cover that. But if I don't see any other ones jump in the chat, I will kind of jump into kind of discussing something that I really wanted to kind of cover today anyway. And if I see questions jump up in the chat, I'll start to talk about them. How about we do it like that? If I see questions jump up in the chat, I'll break away from what I'm talking about to address those questions. We'll just work it like that, right? So last week we kind of we discussed, I gave you guys, well, not last week, the week before last, I gave you guys the comparison. Oh, okay, boom, let's get this real quick. I had someone tell me this morning that tracking, meal prepping, etc., is stressful and overwhelming. Being that I'm acclimated to it, it's easy for me. However, what's easy for me may not be easy for them. So how do you explain to your clients that it's not really overwhelming? Okay, cool. I'll get to this question first. All right, so and I've said this, when we talk about tracking, I tell everybody tracking may not be for everybody. So if you don't track what you eat, You want to make sure that you kind of stay on track with your lifestyle choices and make sure you're eating in the right direction, right? But tracking is as easy as you make it. Let me try to simplify it that way, right? You can make tracking really complex and you can make it really simplistic. It's very simplistic for me. I cook on Saturday and Sunday. I freeze. I go through all my meal options. I usually give myself 3 or 4 meal options for the week, right? So that I don't just feel like I'm eating the same thing every day. I can cycle it up. I can make rotations, boom, right? But tracking can be stressful when you start trying to log your macros and your micros and am I getting enough protein? Am I doing this and that? It can start to get stressful. So for all new people that are kind of coming into making this new lifestyle change, Kim, what I would say in that is to just start really basic, right? Start your meal preps really basic. Your vegetables, get a good carb source, and get your protein. Stick with that and build your meals around that and show them how easy that process is doing that every day. And it's easier when you have a plan and you do it ahead of time and you're not trying to do it daily, right? That's when people start thinking it's daily because it's like, I don't have time to cook every day. Right. I don't have time to cook every day, which is why I maximize the days that I have to prepare my food for the next week or so. I maximize those days. So it's about helping them be disciplined as far as their schedule goes to figure out when you want to start to cook, when you want to prep, and then lay everything out. So now the week just looks like grab and go. And when it's grab and go, it's easy because honestly, if you think about it, that's what makes us go to a restaurant because it's easy to grab and go, right? It's easy to just pull up the Chick-fil-A and say, hey, I want a number 3, this, that, and the third. Boom, you're gone. You figured out dinner or lunch in 5 minutes, right? You go to Zaxby's, you go to whatever, and you can get those things in a matter of minutes. So those things happen like really, really easy because it is a grab and go process. So what do we want to do? We want to make our regular lifestyle in this vein start to mimic that. Make it look easy. Make it be more of a grab and go. But it's only grab and go when you've done the work on the front end. So hopefully I explained that, kid, in a way that I guess I know, of course, I'm always going to over explain. So I hope you kind of got a few things out of that you can kind of break down. What do you do to encourage yourself to keep it going? All right. So for me, honestly, the easiest encouragement for me is to look at myself. I promise you, that is the easiest way I keep myself going is to look at myself. And I know where my goal is and I know how far I am from my goal right now, right? So the easiest way to encourage myself is to look at myself on a day-to-day basis. Like, all right, cool, boom, stomach still there. All right, cool, we got some work to do, right? Or I wanted to, it may have been a particular, like, say, for instance, you had a suit or a dress or something that you were trying to get into, something that you wanted to wear, right? So that becomes the encouragement, the motivating factor. But you've got to be able to readjust. And a lot of times we lose it right there because we never recalibrate. So once you get to that point of being able to wear that dress or wear that outfit or go on that trip or, whatever it is, class reunion, whatever it is, right? So you arrive at that point and you met your goal, but now you need to recalibrate your goal to keep you on track past that particular day or that particular event that you did all this to get prepped for, right? So that's for me. How do I stay motivated and how do I encourage myself? It's just constantly with a constant eye on myself to know I'm nowhere near where I want to be. And even when people compliment and people say, man, you've done so good. And that's cool. And I'm great. I was having this conversation with a friend the other day, like that's cool. And I appreciate that. But I know I'm so far from my goal that I can't relax. And I just can't get complacent in this space because I have done work and I am appreciative of the work and the level that I have reached so far. But this isn't the finish line, right? So I just keep focused and keep looking. But what about when the scale isn't moving down? All right, cool. So here's the thing. I'm so glad you said that. So let me get a little closer. I can do this. People, family, everybody. Don't let the scale rob you of your progress. And that's the easiest way I can say it, right? Because we constantly just get in this place of we want to check the scale and we want to see that number going down, right? Or even if you're trying to gain weight, right? Maybe trying to bulk up a little bit, whatever. So you don't see the scale moving in the direction that you wanted to move. Well, a couple of things are happening, right? Your body composition is changing. How your body is made up, it's changing. And if you try to weigh yourself daily, right? Like daily, you've got to understand you may have had something yesterday that had a higher level of sodium, which sodium in your body makes you retain water. So your water levels may be up from yesterday to today, right? So you may be up on the scale today. Your body fluctuates, which is why I always say pick one day and one time a week that you're going to get on the scale, or every 2 weeks, whatever it is. But if it's Monday, let it be every Monday. If it's around 9 o'clock, let it be around 9 o'clock every Monday, and try to stay strict on the days and the times that you weigh yourself, because that's going to help you have a more accurate measurement of where your body really is. But if you weigh yourself on Monday at 7 in the morning, and then you weigh yourself on Friday at 6 o'clock at night, okay, you had a whole day of eating in there, right? Right? Or you weigh yourself in the middle of the week on Wednesday, midday, because you were bored, you just wanted to get on scale. You're catching yourself in so many different phases of your day. You need to narrow that down. So try to have one day a week or one day every 2 weeks that you get on that scale. And you want to try to stick to the same time frame that you get on that scale, right? So that's that. But keep in mind, I said, don't be married to the scale, because there are other things that are changing in your body that might not reflect on the scale. You could be losing inches. So your waistline may have changed. You may be able to fit a skirt that you couldn't fit 2 weeks ago. Now the scale may be the same, but your body composition is changing. And as that continues to change, pounds will follow, right? But a lot of times in this process, we get so fixated on the scale, and that's the only thing we're looking at. But it's so much more to it than just the scale. Got it? Next question. It seems that my carbs always outweigh my protein, and thankfully my fats. Should it be that way? Absolutely not. Mm-mm. So what you want to do, you want your protein to really be your highest moniker, because your body needs protein. Your muscle needs protein. Your protein is one of the most beneficial things. And of the other two, fats and carbs, proteins don't stay with you like those other two do. So you want to make sure your protein should be your highest level. Your fats and carbs should be lower, and depending on what you're trying to do, your fats may be a little higher than carbs, or carbs a little higher than fat. It just depends on like what you're trying to do. But yeah, that protein number should always kind of be your highest number. Um, Here's the thing about carbs, and we'll talk about carbs, because when we come back together in 2 weeks, I'm gonna break down how do you understand your calories, right? Because we talked about last week when we talked about the comparison of Chick-fil-A versus like meal preps, and I was showing you the increase in calories on the Chick-fil-A side versus me being able to eat 3 meal preps just to get this and still be less calories than one Chick-fil-A meal, right? So you got to understand what goes in your calories. You got to understand the breakdown of protein, the breakdown of fats, and the breakdown of carbs. I'm going to talk about that when we come back together again in 2 weeks. We'll get to that. But as far as your carbs go, to this particular question, as far as your carbs go, I like to keep my carbs low, because if you let me see, I want to say this because I don't want people to get confused. So you don't want such a high level of carbs and you don't have a high level of output, if you get what I'm saying. Like if you're more stationary during your day, you are just kind of here. You work from home, or you're not on your feet moving a lot, but you have such a high number of carbs. See, what's going to happen is your body is going to start to store those carbs as fat. So then you're just going to see that scale continue to move up. Your body's not going to look like what you want it to look like. So you want to keep a moderate level of carbs. I try to keep my carbs pretty low, but this is just me. What I do may not work for everybody. I typically try to bang out my carbs early in the morning and around lunchtime. And then after that, I typically try not to get carbs. Like my dinner is just going to be a vegetable and a protein. But I'll get my carb source around breakfast, or sometime between breakfast and any one of my 2 lunches that I have in the day. Because you don't want that carb number to be too high, because if you're not burning that off, you will see an increase, because those carbs are going to switch over to fat storage in your body. And that's not what you want. That's not going to help you reach your goal. So hopefully I answered that question. Don't need to be married, so much freedom in that. Very good. Thanks so much for the great source of encouragement. All right. Proteins are a priority. Keep carbohydrates. So, yep. All right, cool. Do we have any other questions before I kind of start talking about anything else? Do we have any other questions? And when I say anything we've talked about, I'm saying dating back to January. Like, is there any questions about any of the subject matter that we have covered, things that we've discussed, things that we've kind of had to break into? And of course, I only have like a 30, 45-minute window, so it might be a lot that I'm trying to give you in this short window. So any questions that you guys have that may pop up, you can jump into them. All right. So while I'll kind of start to build on understanding your calories today, then with the time I have left, right? Understanding your calories. We all know that when we eat something, um, please provide a review on water. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. We can do that. When you asked me to provide a review on water, are you talking about different types of water? Like, what are the best types of water for you to have, or like how much water you need, why water is important? Like, kind of elaborate on that a little bit for me. So understanding your calories, right? So here's the thing: when you go eat, everything tells you how many calories. Everything says how many calories, right? Even if you use a sauce, the sauce will tell you, okay, it's 50 calories. One container of Chick-fil-A sauce might be 50 calories. Another one might be 130 calories, right? So everything has a calorie count. When you go to dinner, you look at the nutrition, it's going to tell you, well, this meal, just as in itself is 900 calories. If you make it an entree, so you get fries and drink with that or whatever, it adds another 300 calories, whatever, right? So we've got to start to understand calories. Like what are these calories, right? And so your calories are broken down into three categories: protein, fat, carbs. Protein, fat, carbs, right? It's essentially how this meal is going to be broken down in your body. How your body is going to take this, because you know everything you eat is fuel, right? Everything you eat is fuel. So myself and Ken, who asked a question earlier, we started it back on. We do these little challenges periodically, where we just go really strict for a certain period of time, and it's good to have an accountability partner, somebody that you know you can communicate with, and they're going to keep you on your A game. A lot of times we try to get accountability partners that aren't really strong. Your accountability partner needs to be somebody stronger than you, so that on the day where you're weak, you can lean on them and they're going to make sure you don't fall short, and the same vice versa. But if you got an accountability partner that's kind of so-so, the day you weak, they like, well, yeah, let's both go and get some insomnia cookies, because that's what I need. I've been craving those all week. So you want to get an accountability partner that you know is going to make sure that they push you or whatever, right? So anyway, so when it comes to this, excuse me, we get really strict on our carbs and as far as our cheats, right? But the reason why I'm telling you this is to understand your fuel. So because I knew that we were about to start that today, I made it a point to say, well, last week I was just going to enjoy the things that I know I like to eat. So I didn't like deprive myself of like cheats I wanted. I had them. I took Jordan to the beach for spring break. Had some things there. Like I had those things. And today it's time to get everything back in check, right? But the thing that we were talking about this morning was that groggy feeling that you have because of what you've been eating. And a lot of times you wonder why your energy's so low, or you feel so sluggish when it's time to do things and have to get up and go. And it's because of the fuel you're taking in. See, burgers and fries don't break down as good fuel. That's like 87, right? If you think about it, you got, and when you go get gas, you got 87, you got 89 and 93, right? That's 87. That's the lowest grade you can get when you're talking about burgers. 93 is more like controlling what you eat. You know, a chicken breast, broccoli, maybe a cup of rice, some shrimp, some asparagus, things like that. That's more of your 93. So your body functions with a much different level of intensity. You got a more get up and go, right? You're able to just get up and go without that sluggish, just kind of dragging feeling. You don't have that haze. It's because of your fuel is what you're taking in. So when you take in a lot of fried foods and you take in a lot of sweets and junks, your body is going to produce that as far as how you move. You're going to see that right there, right? So boom. All right, cool. I got a couple questions that popped up. Let's go. Are fast foods higher in calories because it's fried? So one of the reasons why they're higher in calories is because a lot of the stuff that they put in, which nobody really pays attention. You guys remember in January, I talked to you about reading the label. Read the label so that we can understand what we're taking in. See, when you go to fast food restaurants, they're going to tell you what goes in it. We just don't read it. So a lot of that stuff that they're adding into it to make it taste better or to make you crave it or to make it more desirable, that's why those calories are jumping up there. I can make a chicken sandwich at the house and not have anywhere near as many calories as a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, right? Because I didn't have to add a bunch of the things that they had to add. Secondly, even when you compare frying versus grilling, yeah, anytime you fry things, first what you're going to do is you're going to torch all the nutrients. When you fry it, trust me, there's no more nutrients left in it. Believe me when I tell you, when you fry it, right? The nutrients are gone, baby. It's none left. right? That's why it's so good. That's why we love that fried chicken so much, right? The nutrients are gone. This is just some good chicken, right? Or anything else that you may fry, even a bag of chips. That's a fried potato, right? It's fried, right? That's why we enjoy it. It's good, but there's no nutritional value there. And you got to understand that. So when you're talking about fast food, yeah, those calories are much higher because they're adding a lot of things. Just next time you go, just pay attention when you get ready to order something. And you could even do it on the Chick-fil-A app. Just read read the nutrition facts of everything that goes in. Even when you talk about a salad, I can make a salad at home for half of the calories that go in there. But why do we go to Chick-fil-A? Because it's easy. Grab and go. It's easy, right? It's so much easier than actually taking the time on a Saturday or on a Sunday to prep out 7 salads so you can get through the week. It's easier to just say, well, I'll get a salad from Chick-fil-A, but you're getting a lot of other stuff that you can't control. And that's where you start to lose the battle when you want to look at your body like, well, why am I not seeing changes? Because you're taking in things that you can't control because you continue eating out, right? All right, so boom, drinking water. How much daily? I know you drink a whole lot. I do. Yep. But what is considered sufficient to support weight loss? Okay. All right. So ideally, I do a gallon a day, right? For me, I do a gallon a day. And the reason why is because your body is made of, I don't know the percentage, I don't know the percentage exactly, but I know your body is more water than anything else, right? So my body is more water than anything else. Obviously, it needs water to function. There's an understanding of that. My body needs water to function. So in order for me to function at the level that God intended for me to function, I need to make sure I'm putting that water back in my body, right? So that everything, number one, what happens when you drink water, there are natural toxins and chemicals in your body that water just flushes out. You just constantly flush it out. I want to say what's recommended is something like, I think it's somewhere like 6 or 7 bottles a day on average, maybe 8 bottles of water a day or 8 glasses of water a day on average. It's just off the top of my head. I can look that up and tell you exactly, but I think it's somewhere in there, just off top, because you just want to flush your body. You want to give your body what it needs to function. You think about everything you use that your body has to squeeze water out of. When you sweat, that's what, right? When you use a restroom, that's what, leaving your body, right? Saliva, that's like all these things, this liquid has, all these things have to be produced in your body. So I'm going to give my body sufficient water so that it can function in every area like it needs to. My kidneys, everything needs water to function. So I'm going to make sure that I don't skimp on water. I give my body plenty of water so that it can do everything that it needs to do. But you can Google search exactly what's a good recommended start for water, a daily intake of water, and then just start there. So if it's 6, 7, 8 glasses, I think it's going to be in that ballpark, 6, 7, 8 glasses. You just start with that and just understand, eat. Because I used to be big, like water doesn't taste like anything. It's nasty. I don't want to drink water. Man, listen, you drinking for where you're going, not for where you are, right? Nobody had a problem when, and not clearly not now, because we've all changed our lives, right? Correct. We all changed our lives. But, back when we used to drinking alcohol is nasty. It burns your chest, all of that. It's not good. But we have a problem with that version of not good. We throwing them back, right? So I need you to tackle this water with the same approach, because this is actually going to benefit your body, right? All right, so here we go. Calories, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. Yep. Watching. Insomnia cookies. Yeah, Kanithia Jordan. I love insomnia cookies. That is a weakness for me. Listen, I'm telling you, it's a good thing that it's only downtown. I don't always feel like driving downtown. I promise you. Easy, yes. Yeah, easy is like easy is not your friend, right? Easy is not your friend. So if you think about it, the way to simplify this, and that's why I had to make an adjustment for myself. The way to simplify it, and I alluded to it earlier, you want to mimic what you like to do, right? So if grab and go is easy, let's mimic grab and go. Let me meal prep everything so grab and go becomes very easy for me. So now I don't have to think. Like, you want to take the thinking out of it, right? So essentially for me, I did all my thinking on Saturday and Sunday because I planned out my meals. I prepped my meals. They're already done. So all of my thinking as it pertains to what am I going to eat, what am I going to have, that's already done. So now what am I about to do? Open the freezer and grab and go. Open the freezer, grab. I don't feel like salmon today, but I made 3 other meal options, so I can grab any one of those, and boom, I'm just going. I kept it simple for myself, and I don't have to try to figure it out. It's already done. The battle's already done. Got what I'm saying? All right, boom, 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 boom. Let's go. Which is better, cold water or room temperature water? Um, I don't have a preference when it comes to cold water, room temperature water. I don't like cold water. That's just me. I like room temperature water. I don't like hot water, but I like room temperature water. So like I enjoy this season where we are right now, where it's not too hot, and I can leave all of my gallons of water in my truck, and I just grab one each morning when I get to the gym and just start from there, right? But yeah, it's not. I don't have a preference as far as cold or room temperature. It doesn't really matter. You just want to get the water in, right? That's the biggest part is being able to get the water in. Now there are things that they talk about as far as the benefits of cold water for your body, not necessarily drinking, but as far as like cold showers, cold ice baths. You see people talk about ice baths and the way that it slows down certain things in your body and allows you to. Uh, some people say that there's studies out there that say doing that a couple times a week helps you lose weight. I can't get into that because I haven't really researched that out, but there are benefits for doing things cold water, shocking your body there. But I can't tell you that it makes a difference when it comes to the water. But yeah, so here we go. Any other questions? Let me throw this out there too, because I see Lawanda. I appreciate you addressing that comment, and she talked about metabolism. I want to talk to you about guys about metabolism real quick before we kind of wrap things up. Let's understand this. I have I had somebody tell me like the more I work out, the I feel like I'm hungrier. I'm getting hungrier throughout the day, right? That is a thing. You have to truly understand because what happens is now that you're working out and you're working your body, you're causing your body to have to do more work. It's speeding up that metabolism, right? So now your body wants to eat more, right? And in those times, again, you have to prepare for that because you are just hungry. And so grab and go, a bag of chips might be there. I'm hungry. That's easy for me to jump on and grab some chips and let's go, right? But that's not going to help me in the long run. So let's plan for that, right? So I'm gonna grab and go, and I'm gonna grab some Oikos triple zero yogurt, right? Or I will do like I will cook meats and just kind of have them so that if I'm hungry, I can just grab something really quick. Like it's nothing for me to cook a whole pack of ground turkey, and then not necessarily have it as a meal prep, but just have it as an already prepared meat. So when I'm hungry, I can just grab a turkey burger and just eat that as something quick. Boom. That'll kind of keep me as an in-between snack to my next meal, right? So you want to control those snacks as well. You don't want to just like let that grab and go. Be like, well, my meals are good, but my snacks are terrible. Well, you're counterproductive right now, right? You're working against yourself. So you want those meals to be in line, and you want those snacks to also be in line. And what I will help you understand is the more you line up those meals and get those on track, the less you'll have a desire to snack because your meals will keep you fuller much longer. Like you won't have that appetite for snacks because you've eaten full meals. So that's kind of why I'm so hard on you all about making sure that you get those meal preps down. However you're going to eat, you line that up so that you make your week and you make your thought process easier. I promise you. Like for me, somebody else may think this process is so complicated, but it's really not because I take the time to map out. You can't get anywhere in life without planning. I don't care what it is. You cannot get there without planning. You have to effectively plan. You're going to graduate from school. You have to plan. You're going to start a business. You have to plan. You're going to become a member of a team or a network or an organization. You have to plan. You have to change things up, right? So planning becomes key for growth. So we've got to understand that you can't think that this is going to work. You're going to lead a healthier lifestyle without planning. You're going to lead a healthier lifestyle without having to make some tough changes and some tough decisions. That's why I titled this My Plate, My Choice. It is your choice. You can choose to do this however you want to do it, right? But you also can't be upset at the results that you got from the decisions that you made. Those results are because you made those decisions. So if we plan and we effectively and properly plan at the beginning of the week, our decision making is much easier through the week. And then when it comes to, okay, well, I can give myself a cheat because I know I stayed on track for, this entire week. I will give myself one meal. But it's hard to try to find the area to give yourself a cheat meal when you've had multiple cheat meals throughout the course of the week? What are we talking about? You, baby, you done already cheated. You good. No more cheats for you. You good. Right? So we want to make sure that we are doing a better job and being more efficient with our plans, like planning out. Even when it comes to your meals, cook things that you already like to eat. Don't go watch social media and see somebody make something that you know you don't eat, and then you're gonna come meal prep it, and then you mad and you won't eat it past day one because you didn't really like it, right? Like meal prep things that you already like. Your proteins, we talked about that. You want to stick to your chicken. Yeah, chicken is great. You want to stick to fish, salmon, tilapia, other parts, but those are kind of really the two I like to deal with. Shrimp is a great source of protein. And you can get a lot of shrimp for low calories, so shrimp are great, right? And you want to stick to your lean meats. When it comes to your meats, you want to stay lean. Let me ask you this, and I want you guys to answer this one for me in the chat. When you guys go buy ground beef or ground turkey, do you ever pay attention to those numbers that are on there? Like it'll say like 85-15, 93-7, 99-1, 50-50. Do you guys pay attention to those numbers? I really need to answer. I want you guys to answer that for me. Do you guys pay attention to those numbers when you go buy ground beef or ground turkey? Do you pay attention to those numbers? Do you know what those numbers mean? Right? I see somebody say 80-20. That's kind of your, all right, I got some guesses. I want to know when you guys go get ground beef or ground turkey, are you paying attention to those numbers? And if you are paying attention to the numbers, what's your choice? When you grab ground beef or you grab ground turkey, what's your choice? What number are you paying it? Like what number is in your kitchen? I saw somebody say 80-20, right? What number do you grab? What's your number? However, when I'm budgeting, I choose the higher ground. I like that, right? For sure. I go for the higher percentage of leanness, right? Cool, right? So that's what I'm about to break down for you guys. I know some of you guys are still answering that, right? So that's letting you know how lean the particular meat is, right? How lean it is. Like what's the fat content of this particular protein, right? So when you think about it, like most times when I haven't graduated to 99.1. I haven't even tried to cook 99.1. I can't tell you what 99.1 is as far like how it tastes. I know what it is. I can't tell you how it tastes. I haven't ventured to 99.1. But I do 93.7, right? 93.7, right? 93.7. That's very lean because your percentage is up to 100. So 93% is lean. You got 7% fat. Like you're 93.7. That's where I like to be. 85-15. I saw somebody say 85 is much cheaper. Trust me. Let me help you understand something. The bad food is always going to be cheaper. Absolutely. That's how we get you. That's how we catch you slipping. This is cheaper. Don't you want to save money? Don't you want to budget? Come on, get this. And I'm not saying it's bad, right? But sometimes you got to think about it like this. We travel, we go shopping, we do all these things, and we get the best for ourselves in that regard, right? When you travel, you want the best. Oh man, I want to go to the best place. I want to stay in the 5-star resort. I want to do things that are really going to make memories, right? You want the upper echelon when it comes to that. Don't cheat yourself when it comes to the food that you put in your body. Because in order to be able to enjoy those trips and enjoy those things, you need to be able to be here. So don't make that trade-off, guys. Like let's make the investment, make the sacrifice. Plan to budget for the more expensive stuff and I'm not saying more expensive is better in that regard, but I'm saying the healthier stuff is going to be more expensive. So go ahead and plan for that. I don't usually buy ground beef anymore. Ground turkey is more lean. Usually I know ground turkey is better, but not there yet. Yep, I'm a fan of ground turkey, but you guys know I don't do red meat. And because there are a lot of factors and things that go with red meat. So for me, ground turkey is always going to be the choice for me. I'm choosing a budget. It's like buying name brand purses and shoes. It is, right? When y'all go buy shoes and purses, absolutely. Now we can't say that. Well, yeah, absolutely. Because when y'all go buy that stuff, well, I was about to say some people don't buy knockoffs, but some people do. That is, I'm gonna leave that alone. So I'm gonna stay right here. Look. So listen, here's the thing though. When it comes to it's about making better decisions for yourself, right? It's about making better choices for yourself. So start paying attention when you go meat shopping. Start paying attention to that. Pause, no diddy, but pay attention to what you're looking at, right? So you want to look at those percentages. For those of you who may not have known what those percentages are, now you know. So when you go shopping, you want to stay on the more lean side. You want to focus on the more lean side of what you're eating. You don't want to just grab 50-50 or whatever just to say, okay, I got it. I'm a meal prep this. Man, go ahead and make that sacrifice and get more lean, because you got to think about it. If you're trying to alleviate body fat, which is what a lot of us are trying to do, right? We are trying to alleviate body fat. Okay, so if I am trying to alleviate body fat, I've got to watch how much fat I take in, right? So you got to think about it. Like when you eat chicken, a chicken breast is way more lean than chicken wings. Chicken wings carry a higher fat content because of the skin. But we love chicken wings. We love chicken wings, right? Even if you're not frying them, if you smoke them, in the air fry, bake them, or whatever, like we love them. But they carry a higher fat content because of the skin. A chicken breast is going to do you much better. But they don't eat the same, do they? They don't eat the same. It's a little different, right? But we have to make those tough choices. I'm not saying don't eat chicken wings. I'm not saying that, because I still eat them, right? I'm gonna throw them on the grill, but I'm gonna do it sparingly. And when I do it, I'm gonna like eat off of them for like a week and a half. Like I'm not gonna just like try to bust down a 20-piece today, right? I'm gonna spread it out so that it has a chance to work its way into my body. Each day as I'm working and burning, it's not such a high level of fat that I have to work off because I wanted to just pig out today. I'm gonna keep the levels low and spread it out over a period of time, right? You guys got what I'm saying? All right, we've been up for what, 41 minutes. So I hope I answered all the questions that you guys had for today. And by all means, feel free. I know a lot of you all stop me when you see me and ask me questions, or you shoot me messages. Hey, I am here. I will give you guys whatever knowledge I have to help everyone, because I tell you, my goal is to help everyone live a healthier lifestyle. That is it. That is why I get on here every day, just to put this information out, every Monday, to put this information out, because I want everybody to be able to lead a healthier lifestyle. So anything that I can do to help you get there, by all means, let me know, and I got it. All right, I got you. I hope today has been just as fulfilling as every other day, as far as information that you've been able to take in and information that you're able to practice. When we come back in 2 weeks, our subject matter will be understanding your calories. Be prepared for that. Understanding your calories. We will break down proteins, fats, and carbs, and just how they work within your body, and kind of how you need to watch it and monitor it going forward. All right. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys on the stream today, and I will catch you guys later. Be blessed.